So for the rules of exponents, we have x to the first, which gives us x. Anything to the first power is itself. So 3 to the first would be 3, 4 to the first would be 4, and then x to the 0, that would be anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. So for instance, 3 to the 0 power is 1, 4 to the 0 power is 1, and then to the negative first, any negative exponents, you're going to put that underneath as a fraction. Pause the video and try the problems that it says try, and I'll give you the answers after. The answers are 2 to the first is 2, 5 to the first is 5, 2 to the 0 is 1, 5 to the 0 is 1, 2 to the negative first is 1 over 2, and 5 to the negative first is 1 over 5. When we multiply with exponents, we add the powers. We keep the base, we add the powers. So 4 to the second times 4 to the third would be 4 to the fifth because we're adding the power. Pause the video and try the problems on the bottom in pink. The answers to these problems, 5 to the fourth times 5 to the sixth, would be 5 to the 10th because we add 4 and 6. 7 to the 8th times 7 to the 7th should be 7 to the 15th. And x to the third, or x cubed, times x to the 5th would be x to the 8th. When dividing exponents, you keep the base and subtract the powers. Try the problems in pink, pause the video, and then I'll give you the answers. 5 to the 8th divided by 5 squared, or 5 to the second, would get us 5 to the 6th, and y to the 15th over y to the 4th would get us y to the 11th. Power of a power, such as x to the m, all to the nth power, would be x to the m times m. 5 to the third power, all of that to the second, would get us 5 to the 6th because we multiply the powers. 3 times 2 is 6. That's going to be our new power. I want you to try 4 to the 5th cubed and then 7 to the 4th all to the 6th power. Pause the video and then I'll give you the answers. The first answer is 4 to the 15th and the second is 7 to the 24th. When you have two terms being multiplied, all in parentheses to a power, that power is actually given to each term, and then we must simplify. So 2x in parentheses to the third power means 2 to the third x to the third, and then we simplify 2 to the third to get 8, because it's 2 times 2 times 2, so it's 8x to the third. I want you to try the following two problems, and then I'll give the answers, so pause the video while you do them. The answer to 4y in parentheses squared would get us 16y squared, and 5x in parentheses cubed will get us 125x cubed. When you have a fraction to a power, you can divide that up so that we have the numerator to that power and then the denominator to that same power. 3/5 all to the second power can be split up, so it's 3 squared over 5 squared, which simplifies to 9 over 25. The fraction 9 over 2 squared can break down to 9 squared over 2 squared, which would be 81 over 4. With integer exponents, in order to get rid of the negative exponent, we put the base and its power underneath 1. So we put it in the denominator of the fraction underneath 1. And so 5 to the negative second became 1 over 5 squared, which simplified to 1 over 25. And 4 to the negative third became 1 over 4 to the third, which is 1 over 64. So our goal was to get rid of the negative exponent to make it positive by putting it under the denominator of 1. Putting it under the numerator of 1 in the denominator spot, and then simplifying. So 4 times 4 times 4 was 64. That's where I got 1 over 64 from. So pause the video and try the two problems I put there for you.
But yeast infections are no big deal because
The answers are 3 to the negative third becomes 1 over 3 to the third, which is 1 over 27. And 2 to the negative fourth becomes 1 over 2 to the fourth, which simplifies to 1 over 16. If we want to simplify something so we don't have negative exponents, we need to move the negative exponents. And if they're on the numerator, we'll move them down to the denominator to become positive. And if they're in the denominator, we would move them up to the numerator to become positive. So 3a to the fourth, b to the negative third, c, all over 2d. The only thing that needs to be moved is the b to the negative third. So I'm going to move that to the bottom, and it's going to become positive b to the third. Notice I put b to the third in black so you could see that it moved to the bottom, and it became a positive power. In this problem, 2xy to the negative third over x to the negative fourth y, we have two things that need to move. The y to the negative third is going to go to the bottom, and the x to the negative fourth is going to come to the top. Now this looks really funny because x to the fourth needs to be simplified. X is like x to the first power, so when we multiply we add the exponent, so that becomes 2x to the fifth, and on the bottom, y to the first times y to the third is y to the fourth.